you over 50? Over 60? So what? I'm Carol and welcome to the show. Now, a lot of you viewers watching will be boomers, baby boomers, and boomers rule the world. I just read that there's over 77 million boomers in the US, and we've got in Australia well over 8 million. There's a lot of us, so let's have some fun together. Now we can get out and about, we can have more fun, but some of you might still be a little bit anxious or fearful. So we're going to have a great chat today with Joe Busuttil with some fantastic tips and strategies. Then, please join me in the fitness segment. Join me. I met someone the other day, he said, I love watching your fitness segment. That's not the point. You're supposed to join in with me, please. And lastly, have you thought about taking up yoga later in life? Men and women are doing it and loving it. Today on Energy for Life, we welcome back clinical hypnotherapist and counsellor Joe Busuttil. Now, Joe talked to us last time about hypnotherapy, what it is, and how you might like to use it and add it to your toolkit to help with mental and emotional challenges. Maybe you're afraid or anxious about change, about changing yourself, things that are changing around you. Well, today we're going to discuss fear. Hi Joe, and welcome to Over 50 So What?
Hello. Hi Carol.
You've got people out there saying to themselves, it's not going to be okay when I get out and about. How do you get them to change that story to it's going to be fine?
Yeah, well, firstly, it's connecting with the statement of I'm okay. So it's not going to be okay out there. Again, what is out there? What can we control it? No. But if I know I'm okay, then I will then focus on if we compare that to the toilet paper thing, remember how everyone, the people that went and bought toilet paper?
Yes.
That's the same as this. Those people didn't think they were going to be okay. Now, I never went to the shops to buy toilet paper. I always had it. It was always there because I knew it would be there. But in those people's minds, there was a panic. And that's the same thing with what they think is out there. Now, in saying that, we have to be kind to ourselves because we have been in lockdown for a very long time in Melbourne, haven't we? And so, I remember when I went out in the car for the first time, I was feeling a bit anxious because I didn't have to drive for a long time, and then all of a sudden there was traffic and people. So I think it's important just to notice that if you are feeling a bit anxious, that it's natural, right? But just tell yourself, always ask yourself the question to you, why do I feel uncomfortable? What's going on for me? How can I deal with this? And you'll get the answer. The answer would be maybe take it easy, or maybe realize that it's not as bad as you think. But don't listen to the story, which means you're not involved anymore, right? The story is always about what's outside of you, which would be it's scary, or the traffic, or oh my God, the virus is out there, and that's not real. It's not real because you're not in that situation until you're in that situation. Does it make sense?
Well, fear is false evidence appearing real.
Exactly, it's false evidence, and I think especially the last 2 years with COVID, more people have got mental health problems now, and if we just keep ignoring it, it means that there's just going to be a lot more suffering. So I've seen that my business has tripled, quadrupled with people with anxiety, right? So I hate seeing people in pain and suffering. And so you have to try and accept that sometimes we need to talk to someone because the world is moving faster. Would you agree?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I sort of feel that if someone's trying to do all the work themselves, it could take them 10 years to sort out something that you might sort out in a month.
I don't think we have the opportunity to do it on our own anymore. Because think about how quickly now it is. In the last few years, imagine going to the movies, we'd pick a movie and that would be it. Now we have Netflix and there's 1,000 movies.
Yeah.
Right? So that's what we call silent stress. That's silent stress, right? The world has got that now. So everyone's got silent stress now and they don't even know it. Where we've got decisions to make, we've got menus and food to pick, and all of that stuff is just being built up on top of everything else. So that's why I think we can't expect it to go away. It doesn't have to be a therapist as such, but they have to utilize at least some sort of form to deal with their stress. And it could be they do yoga or they do exercise or they do something. But I think that the day of saying I don't want to talk about it, we have to really encourage people by talking about it.
Yeah, that's why you're on the show, so we can get people talking about it.
It's not scary, really. I think people think that therapists are scary. They're not. It's not scary. I have fun with my clients. It's really just about sharing something that you may not share with everyone, because you don't always tell everyone the truth.
Now, with the pandemic, you just mentioned the last 2 years, a lot of people have anxiety, and people watching this may still be suffering anxiety about getting out and about, even though we're allowed out and about and being with people. What advice would you say to these people that are now still anxious about getting out and about?
Now, what is the foundation of adapting? It's knowing that regardless of what happens, you're always going to be okay. So I think the people that are scared still, there's an element of them thinking that they're not going to be okay. And remember what I said earlier, if you say that you're not going to be okay, your subconscious mind will then look for things that are not okay. And then all of a sudden you've got this world of things not being okay. But really, all we've got is ourselves in the moment. So if here I am sitting here right now, what's going on outside, I can't control that. Rather, I can listen to what's going on and then adapt to it. Also, trust yourself. Trust yourself. You know that when you go out, you're going to do the right things. You know you're not going to put yourself at risk. And if you feel like you're going to put yourself at risk, then make sure you have boundaries. So, okay, I'm going to go out, but I'm not going to go out when it's busy, or I'm not going to go out to a place where it's going to be crowded. So there's no need to fear then. If you're fearful in your own lounge room, that is false evidence, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So you're missing out on maybe your interactions with your family or friends. Instead, you're worrying about something that hasn't even happened yet. The reason why the story part is important to notice is because the story would make us... I call the story gossip. That's all it is. It's just you telling a story to people around you or yourself about the other person. So you end up blaming everyone. Now, what does that really mean? It means that it gets you off the hook from doing any work on yourself. And that's what most Australians do, right? Now, you mentioned before about hypnotherapy. Now, it's interesting. Only 31% of Australians go to therapy because they're stuck in the story. And so we live in a culture now as well because of social media. It's easier to go on social media, or it's easier to talk about someone else. And that gets us to project how we're feeling. And that does make us feel better for a little while. But we're not doing any of the work on ourselves. Now, really, as we move into the millennium and we move into the future, no one's going to rescue us. We have to, and the world is going to move faster. So I'm a really strong advocate. I compare therapy to no different to brushing your teeth. We brush our teeth every day about not going to the dentist, right, and getting a cavity. Well, mental health should be seen the same way. You should be doing something every day to help you have a healthy mental state, right? We want to be proactive. So it means that you're solid. The more you practice, the more you do things that make you more connected to resilience and being mindful and being grounded. When things do happen, then it means that you is impacted, right? So you don't want to be reactive. So that was one of the biggest things, again, that I noticed through COVID. All the people that I know and all the people that I've been seeing as clients, resilient. They got on with it. People that don't have that, even my own family, they got stuck, they got scared, they got, traumatized, they got panicky, and some of them are still there now, right? In reality, we're still alive, we're still here, right? So we're okay. But they didn't do anything about themselves. Instead, they complained about the government, they complained about COVID, they complained about everyone. They didn't do any complaining about themselves. That's the key. You've got to go, why am I feeling this way? And that gets us to change. Be excited, because really change is an opportunity.
Well, thanks so much for coming on the show, Joe. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thanks for watching our TV show. Be sure to hit subscribe and then you'll never miss an episode. Jump on Facebook, join our group, get in on the fun, fitness, wellness and inspiration. I'm Carol, over 50, so what?